virtual open house for the Department of Plant Science and Landscape Architecture here at the University of Maryland. We thank you for your interest in our programs and are looking forward to getting to know you and answering any questions that you may have. But before we get started, we're gonna give you an overview of our different programs. Again, I'm gonna introduce myself. I'm Diana Cortez. I'm an academic advisor and lecturer here in the department, and I'm happy to help with any questions that you may have. In our instructional programs office, we also have Lauren. Lauren, would you please introduce yourself?
Hi everybody, I'm Lauren Argabright. I'm administrative assistant in the instructional programs office in the department. So I help with all things on the back end and instructional programs, and I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody has.
Thank you, Lauren. So to get started, we're going to have a few welcoming words from our chair, Dr. John Irwin.
Thanks, Diana. First of all, I just want to thank all of you for expressing interest in our department. I think you'll find that we have an incredibly diverse, passionate faculty that work in an incredibly varied areas that also there's synergy there between, let's say, landscape architecture and plant biology, or AGST and plant biology. So it's an exciting department, I feel, and I really appreciate you taking time. I work in flowering physiology and also controlled environment agriculture.
Thank you. So to give you an overview of our department, we're going to share a video with you that talks about our different programs.
Hello, my name is John Irwin. I'm the chair of the Department of Plant Science and Landscape Architecture here at the University of Maryland in College Park. So what areas does the Department of Plant Science and Landscape Architecture work on? We work on 5 large areas. One of them is we try to promote the environment. I'm standing in front of the Chesapeake Bay, which is one of the most important geographic features of the state of Maryland. And we're doing everything we can to protect not only the areas surrounding the bay and the wildlife that lives there, but also the water itself. Number 2, our department works on how to help farmers produce sustainable, healthy, fresh, local food. Number 3, we all realize that the climate is changing. We have greater changes in temperatures, and we also have greater changes in rainfall. Our department works in a variety of ways with agricultural producers, but also with plant biologists to ensure that we're producing resilient plants that will be able to survive climate change in the future. Number 4, we design landscapes that benefit not only the environment, but also humans and communities. We all appreciate that a diverse and inclusive department creates a healthy environment for faculty, staff, and students to grow, to be creative, and to answer some of society's most important questions and needs. What are the areas that our department is working on with respect to the Chesapeake? Well, we have faculty that are working on how the rising sea levels are impacting saltwater intrusion into our farmlands, which is affecting agricultural production. We also have faculty that work on how the rising sea level is affecting the ecology and the plant life on the surrounding edges of the Chesapeake Bay. We even have faculty that are working on organisms that exist in the water and how the populations are changing, not only in Chesapeake Bay, but also in the Hudson Bay. So why is the University of Maryland special, especially our department, Department of Plant Science and Landscape Architecture? One, we have an incredible faculty, staff, and undergraduate population that are passionate and dedicated to working on the plant sciences. 2, we're an interdisciplinary department that works on an amazing variety of areas. We work on ecology, we work on landscape design, we work on horticulture, agronomy, plant pathology, and plant biology, all in the same department that allows us to do amazing collaborations between the disciplines. 3, we're near the federal government, so we have agencies near us that we can collaborate with that many other places can't. The FDA, NASA, the National Arboretum are all adjacent to the campus itself. 3, we're near 2 major urban centers, which allows us to do research and activities with urban communities that other Big Ten universities or any universities on the East Coast cannot do. And 4, we handle all the plant-based agriculture and food crops in the state of Maryland. So we work on turf, trees, vineyards, apple orchards, cornfields, wheat. All the crops that collectively make up Maryland agriculture are part of our department. So that is why you should consider working with the Department of Plant Science and Landscape Architecture at the University of Maryland.
Thank you. So now you've had an overview of our department. As you can see in the video, we have 3 majors: agriculture, science, and technology, landscape architecture, and plant sciences. So now we're going to have each of the directors and faculty members part of those majors introduce themselves and also share more information about their majors. And we also have a video for each of the majors to share with you. So we're going to start with Dr. Bill Phelps, who's the director of the Agricultural Science and Technology program.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. Thanks for taking the time to sit with us and to hear about our programs. Our Agricultural Science and Technology program is a program that is made up of 3 specializations: agronomy, which is the study of field crops such as our corn and wheat and soybeans, and horticulture, which is the study of everything from flowering crops to fruit crops to vegetable crops. And then we have the Ag Extension and Education program, which is a program that teaches students how to be agricultural teachers in our high schools and hopefully soon in our junior highs and elementary schools. So we're a very diverse part of the plant science and landscape part of the program. And we invite you to take a look at our video and see for yourself a little bit about what we do.
Welcome to the University of Maryland's Department of Plant Science and Landscape Architecture. We invite you to explore our Agricultural Science and Technology major.
Hi, my name is Dr. Bill Phelps, and I'm the director of the Agricultural Science and Technology program here at the University of Maryland. The Agricultural Science and Technology major is divided into 3 specializations. First is the agronomy, second is environmental horticulture, and third is agricultural and extension education. The agronomy major is focused on the sustainable production of food, feed, fiber, and fuel crops. Students in the agronomy major take courses that focus on crops, soils, animals, and the environment. Overall, students from our agronomy program go on to work in the area of agronomy, where they either grow high-yielding, flavorful, nutritious foods sustainably, or assist others to produce our food.
Environmental horticulture is understanding the role plants play in building healthy, living environments, from traditional fruit and vegetable farms to urban farms, from plant production to public gardens. The environmental horticulture specialization at the University of Maryland focuses not only on growing plants, but growing people, by planting the foundation for you to cultivate a career creating healthy, living environments. Whether that is growing the food we eat, or the crops we drink, or producing the plants that create the oxygen we breathe, is completely up to you. We just ask you have fun along the way.
Your degree in agriculture and extension education can be a gateway to teaching in K-12 schools. We're leading an outreach educational project for agriculture industries. Maybe a revolutionary way to help nonprofits help solve food, fiber, and fuel challenges. Get ready for the future with the University of Maryland. Let's go! Do you enjoy hands-on learning and teaching others using real-world applications? There's a growing population that needs help in understanding how food, fuel, and fiber are produced. Are you ready to help? Maryland is often said to be America in miniature. At the University of Maryland, it's a field of opportunity for individuals interested in studying agriculture and extension education. Our holistically designed program enables students to take courses in all the different areas of agriculture and education. Take some time to check us out.
How do you grow high-yielding, flavorful, nutritious food sustainably?
I'm Dr. Nicole Fiorellino, an assistant professor and extension specialist in agronomy in the Department of Plant Science and Landscape Architecture. The Agronomic Field Research Program performs research to provide guidance and recommendations to growers that help them maximize yield and farm profitability while minimizing negative environmental impacts. We evaluate crop varieties, new crop production products, and new management strategies and technologies, all with the goal of balancing high yields and protection of the environment. We are even evaluating novel crops such as industrial hemp, which may provide increased revenue to growers and positive impacts to the environment.
Hello, my name is Dr. Macarena Farcu, and I am an assistant professor at the Department of Plant Sciences and Landscape Architecture at the University of Maryland. So in our lab, we mainly focus on working with fruits. We want to really, as a lab, help and contribute to developing novel strategies in order to improve overall fruit quality. And that includes increasing the flavor of the fruit, the texture of the fruit, the color of the fruit, but also the nutritional value of fruits. And we try to do this sustainably.
Join us in learning how to grow high-yielding, flavorful, nutritious foods sustainably. For more information, please visit www.psla.umd.edu.
Thank you. Now you've learned a little bit more about our agricultural science and technology major. Next is our landscape architecture major. We would like to have our director, Dr. Christopher Ellis, and our BLA chair, Professor Dennis Sola, to also introduce themselves, and then we will be playing a video for landscape architecture as well.
Hey Dennis, you want to unmute yourself? And hi everybody, I'm Director Chris Ellis of the Landscape Architecture program. There's a lot. I just finished watching the video. It just came out hot off the press, so I talk a lot in there. And but anyway, we have great studios. I'd love to get a chance to walk you through at some point when things are safe. We have great spaces for everybody, dedicated seats for each student, where you can bring your stuff and leave it. It's very safe. We have laser printers. We have 3D printers. We've got all kinds of fancy equipment. It's fun to work with. And great programs for modeling. We're in a great area to study landscape architecture. We take everybody from creative design to ecological design, community design, and urban design, all kinds of interesting things. Dennis, you want to add a few things about our program?
Thank you, Dr. Ellis. Yes, we're an accredited professional degree program. So when you graduate from our program, you're going to work on getting a professional license and practicing landscape architecture is one of the arenas of application. Certainly you could enter research or other fields of study. But one of the things that I wanted to reinforce is that we're very passionate about what we do. And we like to say landscape architecture is helping to save the world while uplifting the human spirit. That summarizes basically who we are. There's lots of projects we're contributing to on campus. As a matter of fact, we're now heading the effort to help the campus realize an agroecology corridor, which is a unique way to use the interstitial spaces between the buildings on North Campus. I'd love to tell you more about that, but if you get a chance, visit us, either virtually or when we can in person, and we'd love to show you around.
Thank you. Now we will be seeing the landscape architecture video.
Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Ellis, Director of the Landscape Architecture program. I'm glad to have you here. I'm going to talk a little bit about what landscape architecture is and how you can get into it if you're interested. So landscape architecture includes urban design, but it also includes ecological design and community design and even creative design. So we have people who come from the, with interest in fine arts, but we have people that come that are really interested in ecology and natural sciences. And we have other people who come that are really interested in working with people and groups of people and talking with stakeholders and people in politics and municipal agencies and so on, and getting people together around a table just to solve design problems. If you're interested in any of those things, then landscape architecture really might be a great field for you to work in. Our program has you'll go through 3 years of studio work. A lot of people wonder, what is a studio? What do you do in a studio? And so some people, get an image of a painter with a white hat and a paintbrush and an easel in front. And we do a little of that, but for the most part, we're really solving problems around a table with other people that are also trying to solve those same problems. And there's creativity associated with it, but there's there's a lot of practical problem solving that goes along with it as well. So you're going to learn in your lecture courses skill sets and knowledge that you'll then bring together into the studio that will help you solve problems. It's a very well-defined career that you can work your way through. The other thing that I think is great about it, landscape architecture, is you may start out loving to do the environmental stuff. But, after 5 years or 10 years, you may be like, you know what, I really know how to do all this stuff and I love it, but I need something new. Well, there's a lot of new things you can do. You can go off in the creative direction, or you can go off in the development area, or you can go into, you can switch over to urban design. Even within the field itself, there's a lot of directions that you can grow into. Even if you start down one path, you can go down another path. Our program is accredited by a national agency, and what that means is that if you graduate from our program, you will have solved or satisfied the educational requirements for all 50 states in the United States. Networking is really important, especially for us in our field. And our program is actually very well situated for networking in the Washington, D.C. and Baltimore area. There's a lot of firms here. We're one of the highest paid regions in the country. But the best way to get a position around here is to know someone, really. And so our faculty, we participate in the MD, the Maryland ASLA chapter, but also the Potomac chapter of the American Society of Landscape Architects. And we have events once a month, sometimes once every 2 months. And so all the landscape architects get together, maybe have a glass of wine, a few hors d'oeuvres, talk about awards. We may go to an Orioles game or a Nationals game, and we hang out with each other and we talk about what's going on in the state. We're able to bring our students to these. We encourage all our students to come and participate. And while we're there, we introduce our students. There's also a lot of people who come to our program to review student work. So a lot of the professionals come in and they review what we have on the wall, things like this, and give feedback to the students at the end of a project when it's all finished and ready to go. So we also have a lot of alumni that work in the area, and they make a great source of networking. And then even in our program, we have a student chapter of ASLA. And as you come in early, if you get to know your upperclassmen, those people will be graduating and getting a job before you. And so if you know those people just because you've been here in the program, you already have kind of an in with the firms that are in the state. So networking is critical. Our program is a pretty small program. Architecture, there's everybody's heard of architecture when they're growing up. And so there's a lot of applicants for architecture schools, and there's a lot of students in there. So there's also a lot of competition after you graduate. Landscape architecture is relatively small, so our studios are a maximum of 20 students. And as a result, the faculty get to know the students really well going through the program.
We design landscapes that benefit not only the environment, but also humans and communities.
How do you design communities that enhance the environment and promote health?
I will explain how landscape architects enhance the environment and promote health communities using one of our student projects. This is Ryan reflecting in his class project. Ryan's class transformed vacant lot into green open space. This is a vacant lot with a lot of trash, and let's see how they transform this lot into. These images are after images, so they transform vacant lot into green open space. You can see lots of sitting area for residents to gather together and share their stories. You can also see a pollinator garden to attract bees, butterflies, and other pollinators. You can also see permeable pavers to manage stormwater runoff. All these things has been designed by University of Maryland landscape architecture students. Their design not only enhance the physical environment, also promote healthy community living.
Why should I join the landscape architecture program at the University of Maryland?
If you come to University of Maryland, and you will be the part of this process, and we welcome you to join us. Thank you.
Join us in learning how to design communities that enhance the environment and promote health. For more information, please visit www.lark.umd.edu.
Thank you. Now you learned a little bit more about our landscape architecture program. Our third major that we offer is plant sciences. Here today we have the director, Dr. Gary Coleman, and our professor and associate dean, Dr. Joseph Sullivan. If you two could please introduce yourselves, and then we will share a video about our plant sciences major.
Hello, I'm Gary Coleman. I'm a plant biologist in the Department of Plant Science and Landscape Architecture. I serve as the advisor for the plant biology students, as well as the academic director of the plant science undergraduate program. Now, the plant science program consists of 3 concentrations or specializations. One is plant biology. The other one is urban forestry, and I think Dr. Sullivan's going to speak to that a little bit. And then the additional one is golf and turf and golf course management. The plant science program stresses aspects of fundamental courses in biology, as well as plant biology and plant science, and the application of that knowledge to trying to address the problems that face society today, such as climate change, saltwater intrusion, some of those aspects. We have people in our department working all the way from areas of biochemistry. For example, my lab is working in protein structure function relationships to molecular genetics, molecular biology. For example, finding genes that are involved in conferring resistance to things like salt stress or temperature stress responses, to genome editing, genomics, all the way to ecology and conservation biology. So one of the real advantages of the plant science program is we have faculty who go across scales, all the way from molecules to ecosystems. And so that allows for a lot of integration across those scales. And one of the other aspects of our program is we have a very low faculty to student ratio. And in the plant science area, all of our students are required to either complete internships, either with private companies or government organizations, or to conduct research and serve with various faculty members. And essentially all of our faculty in our department that are involved in research do engage undergraduate students in their research programs. And I think that's really one of the strengths of our program, is the students, besides just being in lectures and hearing about this, they actually get to work in labs and experience how this work is actually done. And I think that's really one of our big advantages. Do you have anything to add, Joe? No?
Hi, everyone. Looks like, I don't know if my camera's messed up or not. In my view, it's sparkling, so I apologize if the camera's not working correctly. So I'm Joe Sullivan. I'm a professor in the department here in Plant Science and Landscape Architecture. I'm a forest ecologist, plant physiologist by training. So I study the environmental impacts of forest, of climate change and so forth, ozone depletion on forest. And I advise the urban forestry program, where we work on all levels from arboriculture, individual plant care, tree care, to forest ecosystem studies. And if you're interested in trees, both Dr. Coleman and I work on trees. We just work at slightly different levels on that. Love to talk to you more. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll watch the video.
Gary Coleman.
Welcome to the University of Maryland's Department of Plant Science and Landscape Architecture. We invite you to explore our plant sciences major.
Hello, my name is Gary Coleman, and I'm an associate professor in the Department of Plant Science and Landscape Architecture. I'm also the director of the Plant Science undergraduate program. Plant Science major consists of 3 concentrations. Students select either plant biology, turf and golf course management, and urban forestry. And our curriculum is designed so students get a grounding in the fundamental sciences, such as chemistry, biology, mathematics, and then that is supplemented with courses in plant biology, and then also supplemented to complement courses in the specializations of the applied courses in things like turf and golf course management or urban forestry. Now, the plant biology at the University of Maryland is to integrate basic sciences along with math, plant biology, biology, with the goal of providing an educational experience that prepares students to achieve their educational professional goals.
We consider the university's location in the Baltimore-Washington corridor to be a huge asset for students in the turf and golf course management program. There are 5 professional sports facilities and several golf courses that have hosted PGA Tour events, all within 40 minutes of the University of Maryland campus. Did you also know that as a turf student at the University of Maryland, our curriculum has been designed to have students become proficient in the basic principles of plant biology, human resource management, irrigation engineering, and sports turf management?
Hi, my name is Joe Sullivan. I'm a professor in the Department of Plant Science and Landscape Architecture, and my area is forest ecology and urban forestry. Our program offers you the opportunity to work in design of urban forest, care of trees or arboriculture, or also the ecological importance, or what we call ecosystem services, of these trees. We have a very high employment rate. Almost all of our students are hired before they graduate. One of the largest industries in the state of Maryland is the urban tree care business or ecological services. Government agencies, the University of Maryland has an arborist that takes care of our forest. There's a variety of job options for you. It's very highly employable, and our students do really well in urban forestry.
How do you use translational science to produce resilient plants and crops for a changing climate?
One of the strengths of our programs is the academic and intellectual diversity of the faculty in our department.
Hi, my name is Nidhi Rawat, and I'm a crop pathologist at the University of Maryland. One of the research areas in my lab is to screen for genetic resistance for use in farmers' fields as crop varieties. Being a crop pathologist provides me the opportunities to take my research, to conduct my research in my lab and take the findings to actually farmers' fields. Other avenue of my research is to advise farmers on the management practices that they should be doing for the problematic diseases in the state.
My name is Yiping Shi. I'm a faculty at PSLA at UMD. So my lab is working on developing tools for gene editing to boost crop breeding in plants. We have tools such as gene editing technologies so that we can use them to go into the genome of crops to make very precise edits so that we can engineer the next generation crops which are really high yield, disease resistant, and also climate resilient. So thanks to CRISPR, now we really have the way to engineer crops in such a fast manner which cannot be done using conventional breeding.
My name is Kate Tully, and I am an associate professor of agroecology in the Department of Plant Science and Landscape Architecture. The main way that I do translational science is by coming up with strategies for certain crops, like salt-tolerant crops, and working out the kinks in the greenhouse and also in the field. So trying to find certain kind of cultivars that are more salt-tolerant. One of the things that we expect to see with climate change is increasing sea levels and also saltwater intrusion along our coastlines. And so we're coming up with different kinds of crops that might work in some of those situations, especially on the eastern shore of Maryland, Virginia, and Delaware, where we're seeing a lot of issues with sea level rise and saltier soils.
Join us in learning how to use translational science to produce resilient plants and crops for a changing climate. For more information, please visit www.psla.umd.edu.
Thank you. Now you hope that you were able to get some of your questions answered as you met with each of the professors and the advisors. We are happy that you were able to join us today, and we look forward to hearing from you. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to email us. I'm going to put in the chat box our website, which is psla.umd.edu, which is our department website, and also our landscape architecture website. Dr. Irwin, our chair, has also shared his contact information, and we will, for any general inquiries, you can also contact me, and I will be putting my email address there as well. We look forward to hearing from you, and hopefully you all becoming future TERPs here in the Department of Plant Science and Landscape Architecture.